It's time for another WrestlePlanet news update as a new champion has been crowned in WWE, a talent has been removed from the official AEW roster, and a former WWE superstar has been charged with attempted murder. And if you haven't already, make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe so you don't miss the latest wrestling news. First up, we have a report that suggests a popular WWE superstar is set for a big push. According to PW Insider, Ricochet is currently listed as the number 2 babyface on the SmackDown brand on internal documents, second only to former WWE champion Drew McIntyre. A few names are missing from the list, including the likes of Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Shinsuke Nakamura, this due to their involvement in the tag team division. Last week on SmackDown, Ricochet would confront WWE Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn, with the two now scheduled to meet for the title later this week. This follows a big victory 2 weeks ago when he defeated Sheamus. With Sami Zayn currently in the midst of a feud with Jackass's Johnny Knoxville, it's possible that the two could fight for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania, or perhaps Knoxville could provide Ricochet with an assist this Friday as an alternative way of continuing the storyline. Either way, it seems that WWE currently hold Ricochet in high regard on the blue brand, and all I can say is it's about damn time. On last night's episode of Being the Elite, the Young Bucks would confirm that AEW were heading to Orlando, California, with AEW Rampage airing live from the Toyota Center, and this will be the company's first show in the Inland Empire area. After the announcement, another big show was revealed, this time with AEW heading to Los Angeles, California. 2 days before the Ontario event, AEW Dynamite will be held inside the Forum in Inglewood, the former home of the LA Lakers NBA team, before their move to the Staples Center in 1999. The show is set to take place on June 1st, which is the post Double or Nothing edition of Dynamite. Double or Nothing will be held in one state up in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Los Angeles Dynamite will be part of a series of West Coast shows at the end of May and the start of June, which will see 3 shows in Las Vegas, 1 in Los Angeles, with the tour concluding in Ontario, California. Last night, WWE would hold the latest episode of Monday Night Raw, where a major heel turn occurred. On last week's show, WWE Hall of Famer Edge would issue a WrestleMania Open challenge for anyone wanting a Mania moment with the Rated R superstar. In the promo, Edge would call for somebody phenomenal, and this week he got his wish. Edge would once again issue the challenge, but this time he wanted it to be accepted there and then, and this led to AJ Styles making his way to the ring before accepting the challenge for the match. Edge would tell Styles that he's wanted the match for a long time, and stated that he wants the Bulldog AJ and not the guy that's been playing tag team bitch to Omos for the last year. Edge would then turn heel, taking Styles out with a low blow kick, before choosing to hit AJ with a trademark concerto not once but twice. Nasty. The two will now meet at WrestleMania in over 4 weeks' time, and it should be a decent match. Next, let's go to an update regarding a recent AEW debutant, as we have some backstage news on the signing. Last week on Dynamite, Buddy Matthews would make his AEW debut, aligning himself with former WWE foe Malachi Black and Brody King as the latest member of the House of Black. According to Fightful Select, discussions between AEW and Matthews began last fall, although it's unclear when the deal was done. Impact Wrestling are also said to have reached out about bringing him in, although of course this didn't happen in the end. Fightful sources from within AEW have said that Matthews made a good impression of himself backstage at the venue last week, and one incident was highlighted which involved a planned spot that was eventually nixed. The spot was scrapped after Matthews found out that he was set to use somebody else's finishing move, which helped with the good impression he received. Several AEW talents are said to have known Matthews was coming in and that he'd be aligned with the House of Black as far as 3 weeks before he signed, leading to many within the company to speculate that the deal had been agreed some time ago. And now let's go back to some WWE news, as we have an update on the unification of the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. Last Friday on SmackDown, the wording of the title versus title bout between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania was changed, with it instead now being billed as a winner-takes-all championship unification match. This led many to think that the two belts would be merged, with one of them disappearing altogether, or perhaps both going away to form a brand new undisputed belt. On the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer would provide some insight on the situation, clarifying some of the confusion around the matter. Meltzer said that WWE still wants only one champion on each brand, meaning it's likely that both belts will be sticking around. He would add that it will be similar to when WWE have had double champions in the past. Meltzer was told that it's not feasible to have one overarching champion and that both shows need their own belt due to Raw and SmackDown being on different networks, with Raw of course being on USA and SmackDown being on Fox. And before we continue with the rest of the video, as we head towards the release of the upcoming WWE 2K22 video game, we've launched the WrestlePlanet gaming channel, where we're going to be releasing all sorts of wrestling game content. I hope to have our first video up within the next day or so make sure you head over there and subscribe and turn your notification bell on so you don't miss out. And as well as that, if we hit 1,000 subscribers before the 8th of March, I'll be giving away a free copy of WWE 2K22 on whichever console the winner chooses. Now let's go to an update coming from the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio, as it's been confirmed that a top free agent isn't heading to All Elite Wrestling. Dave Meltzer would discuss the situation surrounding former NXT champion Johnny Gargano, whose WWE contract ended in December 2021. Whilst many expected Gargano to eventually join his friends in AEW, Meltzer would note that he is not expected to join the company anytime soon, and his debut is not on the cards. That's Gargano, but what about two other free agents that are available that are heading to AEW? Dave did mention that both Jeff Hardy and Shane Strickland do look to be heading to AEW in the near future, although no debut dates were given for either man. With that said, both are expected to appear in the coming weeks. Jeff Hardy recently appeared in an interview with Jared Myers where he confirmed that he was joining AEW, although he later backtracked on his claim, calling it a goal rather than a certainty. Hardy has been teased on AEW television as well as on Being the Elite, and it seems that he will be All Elite very soon. As for Gargano, he has stated that he just wants to focus on his wife and baby for the time being, the likely reason for letting his WWE contract expire. And speaking of WWE titles, last night's episode of Raw saw the crowning of a new United States champion. The show would see Damian Priest defend his belt against Finn Balor in the final match of the show, with Balor picking up a clean pinfall victory after a coup de grace. This led to Priest cutting a heel promo after the match before driving Finn through the announce table with a crucifix powerbomb. Despite this small setback, this marks Balor's first reign as the United States champion, ending Priest's 191-day reign with the belt. This is Finn's 6th title reign since joining WWE back in 2014. He is a 2-time NXT champion, a 2-time Intercontinental champion, a 1-time and the first ever Universal champion, and now a 1-time United States champion. Much like Ricochet, it's good to see WWE giving Finn Balor a spotlight to show what he can do. Next up, an All Elite Wrestling talent has been removed from the official roster page, leading to them calling out AEW president Tony Khan. On Twitter last night, it was pointed out that Chavo Guerrero had been removed from the official AllEliteWrestling.com roster page, with him previously having been listed as an active talent. Chavo would respond to a tweet regarding the situation, noting that he was unaware of his removal, before seemingly taking a shot at Tony Khan for going back on his word. In a now deleted tweet, Chavo would write, "That's news to me. I guess having Tony Khan telling me to go to film Young Rock Season 2 and my job will be waiting for me when I'm done didn't mean much." Guerrero would make his AEW debut in July 2021, acting as Andrade El Idolo's executive consultant. Andrade would eventually turn on Chavo in September, which wrote him off to allow him to take part in the filming of the Young Rock TV show, where he works as the on-set wrestling coordinator. Filming began in October 2021, and according to PW Insider, was expected to wrap up in mid-February, but with that said, Chavo is still nowhere to be seen on AEW television. It's possible that AEW had intended on adding Chavo back to the page upon his return, and it's also worth noting that he was listed as an active competitor, which of course is incorrect. With that said, he wasn't moved to the manager section and he has been removed entirely. It's currently unclear if Chavo is still under AEW contract, but it appears that he expected to return in the near future. And finally, we have a story regarding former UFC fighter and WWE superstar Cain Velasquez, who was reportedly involved in a shooting on Monday. San Jose police are currently investigating a shooting that took place at around 3:14 p.m. local time in Morgan Hill. San Jose police have charged Velasquez with attempted murder, confirming his arrest on Monday night, with him being held in Santa Clara County Main Jail, where he is being held without bail. He is due to appear in court on Wednesday. Police have been investigating a shooting that occurred in Morgan Hills, California, where a man was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries whilst another man was arrested. Velasquez would join WWE in October 2019 after a short stint in AAA in Mexico before feuding with former UFC rival Brock Lesnar. The two would work a match at Crown Jewel 2019 in Saudi Arabia, with Brock winning in just 2 minutes. He would then team up with Humberto Carrillo at a Mexican house show, defeating Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows in November 2019 before his eventual release in April 2020. He would only work 2 matches in total for the promotion. His most recent match in wrestling was for AAA in December 2021, winning a trios match at Triple Mania Regia. Following the aforementioned incident, there has been no official statement from Velasquez as of this recording. And before you go, make sure you check out the truth behind the secret wrestling returns of CM Punk.